Indian history pivots around the 6th century BCE. Over a span of a few hundred years, the nomadic, cattle-herding tribes of the Vedic age settled into fixed territories, consolidating into surplus-driven states. Mapping this transformation was historically difficult because the subcontinent's earliest records remained unreadable for centuries, leaving the specific timeline of early state formation largely to conjecture. That changed in the 1830s. James Prinsep, an officer in the Mint of the East India Company, deciphered Brahmi and Kharosthi, the two scripts used in the subcontinent's earliest inscriptions and coins. Prinsep found that most of these inscriptions mentioned a king referred to as Piyadassi, meaning pleasant to behold. By cross-referencing this title with the Pali chronicles of the Vamsa, he definitively identified the figure as the historical emperor Ashoka. Deciphering Brahmi provided the chronological anchor for Indian epigraphy. It allowed historians to finally organize ancient edicts and map the political evolution of the 16 competing states known as the Mahajanapadas. Long before those states drew their borders, the groundwork was laid by a material revolution. In the post-Harappan period, distinct burial sites known as megaliths appeared across central and south India. Inside these elaborate stone structures, archaeologists found a massive volume of specialized tools and weapons, nearly all of which were forged from iron. Meanwhile, in North India, Aryan tribes were expanding eastward into the Gangetic Plain. This region contained immense iron ore reserves, which provided the raw material for the mass-produced axes required for clearing dense forests. This new material triggered an agricultural explosion. At archaeological sites like Shakyas, researchers found heavy iron plowshares, tools strong enough to shatter the thick, baked soil of the Gangetic Basin. This mastery of iron was the mechanical cause of state formation. It generated the consistent agricultural surplus needed to fund localized trade, permanent standing armies, and the bureaucracies to govern them. That excess grain created a new class of wealth-holding farmers called Gahapatis. As they consolidated control, the old kinship-based tribes morphed into defined territorial states, the Mahajanapadas. Our primary lists of these early kingdoms come from ancient religious literature, specifically the Buddhist text Anguttara Nikaya and the Jaina Bhagavati Sutra. The 16 Mahajanapadas align with the subcontinent's geography. Major rivers acted as commercial highways. 4 states dominated the landscape: Magadha, Avanti, Vatsa, and Kosala. A distinct outlier was Asmaka, located entirely south of the Vindhyas. This territorial arrangement created a zero-sum geopolitical environment. With 16 states competing for finite river valleys, the internal logic of the region dictated that smaller units would be absorbed by a dominant center. To govern these territories, the Mahajanapadas relied on 2 different political models: hereditary monarchies and non-monarchical systems known as Gana-Sanghas. While sometimes categorized as early republics, the Gana-Sanghas were strict oligarchies. In states like Vajji and Mallas, power was shared exclusively among elite Kshatriya clans, with no representation for the broader population. In these oligarchies, ruling clans met in the Santhagara assembly to debate taxation and warfare. By contrast, monarchies operated with singular, top-down authority, utilizing standardized taxation to maintain massive bureaucracies and permanent standing armies. While the Santhagara provided collective representation, the need for consensus slowed military response times. This left the Gana-Sanghas vulnerable to the rapid, resource-heavy war machines of the absolute kings. One state successfully dismantled both rival republics and kingdoms to absorb the entire region: Magadha. Magadha possessed a unique convergence of resources. They controlled fertile soil for surplus grain, had proximity to iron ore, and utilized rivers for rapid troop transport. They also maintained the military advantage of war elephants. This geography was ruthlessly exploited by the Haryanka dynasty. King Bimbisara expanded through matrimonial alliances, while Ajatashatru deployed advanced catapult weapons to crush the rival Vajji confederacy. They protected these gains by engineering high-security capitals. They began at Rajagriha, surrounded by massive cyclopean walls, before shifting to the river fortress of Pataliputra. Magadha achieved supremacy by combining an unyielding geographic monopoly with systematic, multi-generational political ambition. The geopolitical competition of the Mahajanapadas permanently ended the fragmented pastoral era of ancient India. Prinsep's decipherment of Brahmi provided the first historical chronology. Iron technology drove the agricultural surplus necessary to move from tribes to territorial states. Centralized monarchies outpaced the slower, decentralized oligarchies. Magadha secured the region by leveraging a geographic monopoly over iron, logistics, and military resources. The 6th century BCE engineered the geopolitical and economic infrastructure that eventually powered the rise of the Mauryan Empire.